to play a game.
Greetings, Alien Slayers! Slippy Jim here, finally with some Call of Duty Ghosts. And I've been loving this game so far. It has been pretty awesome, and I don't often say that about Infinity Ward games, to be honest. But here we go. I'm going to show you my co-op strategy guide for beating Ghosts Extinction mode, which we've all been looking forward to. Now, this is the loadout that I will be using in this game, which is the Weapon Specialist loadout, which gives me more bullet damage, as well as faster reload and stuff like that once I rank it up later in the game. Now, I have ranked up to the top tier of all my classes here, so I have the Garage Pistol, fully automatic pistol, explosive ammunition, I have the Armor Team support, the Vulture Strike package, which is awesome, and the Death Machine Equalizer loadout, which, to be honest, I probably could have gone with something else, and it might have been a bit more effective, but I wanted to try out the Death Machine in this game. Now, because this is mainly a co-op based defense style of co-op mode, I'm not going to show you guys a solo guide on this unless you really want me to, because to be honest, if you play this solo, you're really doing it wrong in terms of what the gameplay is designed around. It's designed to have classes that complement each other, and to be honest, it's not too much fun to play it solo, although I have beaten it solo. It is definitely doable. Okay, now we're starting off here. In this particular team, we have a tank, we have an engineer, and we have two specialist class, one of which is myself. Now, when you get dropped in here at the starting area, there are two trash piles that you'll be able to locate, usually in the corners of this starting area. You want to search those, and you can pick up stuff here like we've got a Semtex grenade, and you can also get stuff like ammo clips and a whole bunch of other stuff as well. So it's kind of a race to search for those, because there's only, if you have 4 players in the game, which we start off with in this game, there's only 2 of those trash piles. Now, you do not want to be a noob here, guys. Once you plant that drill to get rid of the barrier up there, to get rid of the hive, look at the challenge before you start shooting your gun, because there are 2 challenges usually. This one here, which is don't take any damage from aliens before the hive is destroyed, probably the harder of the 2, and you want to go way back to the back of the map and try and take out these zombies before they can hit you. And not zombies, oh my god. Aliens, of course. I think these are called scouts, these ones. But anyway, now the other challenge is a melee only challenge, to only kill aliens using melee prior to the drill doing its thing. Now, if you fire a shot off, you can ruin that for your whole team, and it's very important to get as many of these challenges as you possibly can. And I get the SOFLAM laser designated there, which I'll show you in action a little bit later. But basically, for completing the challenges, you get a skill point. Now, the skill point you can use to level up your different loadouts so that they are more effective later on in the game. And you're seeing me do this here. I did start off leveling up the armor class because I'd called out that I was going to do that for the team. But then the other guy decided he wanted to do that. So I was quite happy to let him do that, because that freed me up to just do my selfish classes, which is my specialist class itself. And, the Vulture and some stuff like that. That was going to be more fun for me. Anyway, now, basically, what you want to keep in mind, it's almost like every time you plant the drill, it's starting a new round almost. Kind of like in zombies. In between rounds, you can have a look around. Don't place the drill straight away each time. Give the team a chance to resupply, to search the trash piles for stuff that they might want, like attachments for their primary gun and things like that. Well, the first couple you can probably do straight off anyway. Now, this second challenge was do not go into last stand before the hive is destroyed. So at hive number 2, this is going to be super easy for the team to do here. Now, by the way, you just saw an exploding gas bottle there. So it's sort of like Left 4 Dead in more than one way, actually, in that you can actually throw these gas bottles and explode them, kind of like setting up a trap. But there are actual traps as well that you see a little bit later, including electricity traps and fire traps. In fact, they are pretty much the main traps that you have. Now, I just picked up the main weapon that I'm going to be using for the entire rest of this game, and we just got an attachment for it there, which is the grip, which is going to give it a bit more stability here as well. Now, this is the Vector. This is actually a pretty good gun in terms of giving you reasonable mobility, reasonably fast to reload, does a fair bit of damage, and this is all that I'll need throughout this entire game, as you will see, as well as my starting pistol. Now, one thing to remember with your starting pistol, you do not lose that pistol. You have to use that for the entire game. You only get the 2 weapons, so you only get whatever primary you buy and that pistol, but you can get different primaries. That's not a problem. There's a bunch of them hidden throughout the map here. There's like a rocket launcher over here and stuff like that. So just choose one that you're comfortable with, and then I recommend holding on to it because you're going to get a bunch of attachments, I believe. And we pick up a trophy system here, guys. The trophy system, there's so much to explain in this, and I apologize if I jump from one thing to the other, but I'll get back to the attachments. Basically, I think you can only have 4 attachments on your gun at one time. You can keep picking up different attachments, but it will tend to swap out for one of your other attachments. So just get what you feel comfortable with. I personally prefer the rapid fire, the muzzle brake, and I like to have the dual sights with the holographic. You'll see those a little bit later on, but we're just picking up some ammo and some armor there. So the guys have been ranking that up pretty good for the team, which is awesome. These guys were actually really good players as well, and we're going to town here. We've got to kill these aliens using turrets for this challenge in order to get an extra skill point. Now, you do get a skill point each time that you destroy a hive as well, so you can double the amount of skill points that you have to spend on upgrading your loadout if you do the challenges. But some of the challenges are just ridiculous, depending on what wave or round, sorry, hive you're on. It's hard getting used to the new lingo. But I'm just protecting this guy while he uses this turret. There's another turret up there that the guy's on, down near where it says Gills Lodge, the sign back there. And we're just trying to take out 10 of these aliens with the turrets to get that extra skill point. Now, getting back to the trophy system. Now, we've seen that before in Call of Duty multiplayer, and what that does is it basically flings back or absorbs the grenades from your enemies. Now, in this Extinction mode, what that does is, when you'll see these aliens a little bit later, when we get to the final barrier for this area, but what they do is they spit acid at you. They're called scorpions, and what these trophy systems do is they will prevent that settling on the ground, and they'll absorb that for you, so that stuff can be really problematic later on in the game. Trust me. Especially if you get downed in it. Okay, so you can see, you've probably noticed I've been spending some of my skill points on upgrading the pistol here. I'm going to upgrade it again. I've upgraded basically just the pistol at this stage and the armor. So even though the other guy's doing armor all the way up for the team, I'm doing mine up a little bit as well, because that will be necessary for later on in the game when I can't rely on him dropping it for me and we find another trophy system there. But I might want to drop it for myself in desperate situations. So armor is super important in this Extinction mode, guys. Now, you can only carry one piece of equipment. So at the moment, I think I've got the Hypno Knife by the looks of it. And what the Hypno Knife does, it's a throwing knife that you can throw at an alien, and basically that then converts the alien. It hypnotizes the alien into being on your side, so the alien will then fight for you against the other aliens. Now, how crazy is this challenge, guys? Kill 25 aliens while prone. This is actually a challenge I thought up for zombies, to see how far you could get prone, and I was just joking, but this is a challenge that they put into this Extinction mode, and it's actually not too bad. Speaking of going prone and whatnot, guys, what do you think of the new slide animation? Like, instead of dolphin diving to prone, Infinity Ward have tried to sort of copy Treyarch again and do like a sliding on your knees, kind of like a goal celebration style of animation that they've introduced. So I don't know, it's kind of cool actually. It's kind of cool. It looks awesome in multiplayer when you can pull that off and take someone out for a kill cam, trust me. But in multiplayer I'm enjoying as well, although I'm not really getting a lot of variety in the maps, although there's a ton of maps. I've got freefall and stuff like that, but I'm not seeing too much variety in the ones I actually get into, unfortunately. So that kind of sucks. Now I'm just putting the trophy system back there for later. That's the last kind of holdout, last stand area for this section of the map. This particular map, what's it called? First Contact. I'm assuming it's the first of a few that we'll get for this evolution, extinction mode. And I keep calling it the wrong thing. And basically it's broken up into 3 distinct areas. Now, you have to destroy the final barrier to get into the next main area. So this one here is what they call a barrier hive. And instead of drilling this one, we've got to call in this chopper that will come and use its like miniguns to shoot out that barrier hive, which takes quite a while if you just leave it to the chopper. But a little tip here is you can use the exploding gas bottles to help it along and to do some damage to that barrier hive. You can also shoot at it with turrets and with your normal guns, and that actually speeds it up a ton. So I really recommend doing that, just so you don't have to constantly battle and take forever trying to get through these things. And this is actually the first time that I ever used this death machine, so I was just kind of seeing what it was like, because it's pretty awesome from Black Ops in zombies. So I wanted to see what it was going to be like. And the other thing with this thing, it's going to be helpful for wasting its ammo on the barrier hive as well, to try and wear that down. So you can see at the top left of the screen the health of that barrier hive, and that's eventually going to get worn down until it's destroyed and we can get through to the second part of the map, which is the town, I believe it's called. And you do get an achievement if you haven't already got that for getting through to that next part of the map in this game mode. So I'm just using, this is what the SOFLAM is for. It kind of calls in an airstrike and you get 3 shots and then it's gone. So it's pretty beast, and that actually switches out like having a third weapon rather than acting as a piece of equipment. So you can actually carry that SOFLAM in addition to things like the flares or the hypno knife or the trophy system or any of those sort of things that you can pick up. Now, the flares, guys, are kind of like monkey bombs. You'll see me use these a little bit later, but what you do is you drop those and they will attack most, but not all, of the aliens, and you know, they can be used to distract them while you revive players and things like that. But trust me, armor is the main thing that you want to rely on for when you're in a sticky situation and you have to revive someone. If you just whack on some body armor and then go revive, you normally have enough time before that armor's depleted to revive someone, even in the case where you might have something crazy like a rhino, which is the most dangerous and deadly of the aliens that we'll see in this first map anyway of Extinction mode. Now these are the scorpions, guys. Basically they will kind of climb on rooftops and cliffs and stuff like that, and they have a ranged attack where they spit that acid. And in this case what they'll do is they will attack the helicopter. So you want to concentrate on the scorpions, and this applies throughout the whole game, not just in this section where you're destroying the barrier hive. You want to concentrate on the scorpions, because if you let them just go, you know, do what they want and you just take out the little ones really don't do you too much damage. But these scorpions, they will create a blanket of acid on the ground, and if you get downed in that and someone comes to revive you, they can easily get downed as well and end up with the whole team getting killed. The other thing is, guys, try not to drop your ammo boxes or your supply boxes or your armor boxes for resupplying the team into the middle into the middle of the acid. It's a common mistake, and it just is really, really bad, because people go and try and get something and they'll get damaged by the acid. It is not a good thing to be doing. Trust me on this. The other thing is, if you get downed in the acid, make sure you crawl out of it. A surprising amount of people, and I know the game's still new, but a surprising amount of people will just lay there without moving in the middle of a huge pool of acid and expect people to come across and revive them in that, where they're going to take damage themselves. So just do your team a favor and, you know, wiggle your way out of that acid so your team can revive you easily. So here you can see I'm just helping finish off this barrier hive now with my weapon, and we're just wearing it down. And once that gets destroyed, what will happen is you'll usually have a ton of points at this stage, hopefully, if you're doing it right. Now, you'll also get a bonus 3,000 cash that the chopper drops for you as well, which will be just beneath where this barrier hive is located right now. So you want to, because you can only have a maximum usually of 6,000 points, unless you've you know, ranked up your engineer class, by the way, which can hold a little bit more then. But you want to spend, you know, your other, if you've got say 5 or 6,000, you want to spend the other 2 or 3,000 you've got, so you're not wasting your points. You know, drop some ammo, or, you know, top up your armor like I'm doing here, or whatever you need to do, and then grab the 3,000 then. I guess you could save it and come back to that, but I suspect it probably is going to fade away and disappear like most of the resupply items do. So that's where we'll leave it for today, guys. Part 2 will be coming up, where we take on the town area of the map here in Extinction. Please remember to rate and comment. I'll be back soon with part 2.